Greetings, fellow zombie survivors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid, Guy on Fire, episode 23. Let's do a quick recap. We're only a few streams in, so there's not too much to recap. The big goal of last stream was to start to move. I think that was the overarching goal. So we managed to find all of the required, what I would consider the required materials in order to move into a place, meaning a pipe wrench for plumbing, a generator and generator magazine for power, carpenter skill for water, and a sledgehammer for safety if you need such a thing. And we're all set. So what I largely did last stream was to set up the new base initially. There's a lot to be desired to be done. I do want to fully move out of the cursed home, so that's going to be the first priority, and then I'm going to have you all propose priorities after that, leaving it fully up to you. I do think that getting electrical 3 is probably pretty high up on that priority, because without electrical 3 I'm going to be cooking on on the antique stove, and I don't really want to have to do that. But apart from that, all the other priorities can be left up to you. Oh man, there's something weird going on with the game right now. It's running clunky, a little clunky. I smoothed out. Probably the cursed home cursing me further, sending like swarms of zombies my way, with my luck. And Inanome, thank you for the resub. Welcome. Some things that I could do. I haven't had a bit of a wash in a while. I've been working on leveling up some skills, so I still have cooking books to read. I believe that all the other books have been read for their multipliers other than Metalwork. So I am at Metalwork 6, which opens up a whole lot of options, and I'm probably going to want to continue to grind my metalworking skills so that I can have nicer looking companion cubes, and then also so that I can build fences and the like, which allows me to retain line of sight while opening and closing the entrance gates to the base, which is I almost died from having a line of sight blocking gate, so that would be a little life-changing, just a little bit. It is sort of nighttime, so I'm not really planning on going anywhere at this hour. I'll start to pick up work tomorrow. But we have brought basically all of the food over here, so I'm in pretty good shape. Another thing is the weight is about to... well, it's probably about to drop into a new class, which is really helpful. Guy has been ridiculously overweight for a very long time, and he might hit a normal weight, meaning that I will lose the overweight modifier, which hurts my endurance regeneration, increases my chance to trip and fall and fail tall climbing and things like that. So that's going to be a little life-changing as well. So probably what I need to do is just to start reading. We do have the, I believe this is the metalworking tape in, and we can actually start power leveling our skills with whatever tapes I can find. I could even make a point to go to other towns if need be and get some additional tapes that I don't currently have access to. But here's the little base. We've got the little gnome, the guarding gnome. We've got the trailer in the car. I don't think the trailer's probably hooked up unless they fix that patch. And then the front gate. I probably should at some point remove the corpses that are inside my walls. And another thing I might need to do is I might need to do some mass pavement. One of the things you'll notice is that this used to be a sand lot, and we're about a month and 10 days in, and it's becoming overgrown rather quickly. I'm not going to obviously pave the whole thing. That's way more area than I even need to secure. But it might be wise to pave a little bit of it so there aren't these bushes that slow driving down, or those bushes won't even turn to trees. So that's going to be something important to do as well. I haven't inspected all the vehicles in the lot, and I suspect you could submit that as a suggestion if you want. When I am done fully moving out of the old home, that is a good project to find better vehicles. Is it worth disassembling the wrecked cars? It is when I have read my metalworking book all the way, because it's a metalworking skill, and it gives a fair bit of XP. It does require a lot of propane, but I think the propane's fine. And Cowley, thank you for the resub. Holy cow, 2.5 years. It's interesting that my, you can see how the tiredness affected me. It, like, closed in the light dramatically. Alright, before I go to sleep, I'm going to do one more canned soup. Hopefully soon I won't have to have room temperature soups. So all those ideas that you guys have, just hold on to them up here, because the inbox will be open soon. So I have been sleeping, not technically secured from zombies, on the ground, on the base floor. So that's yet another project that could be proposed, that I move my bedroom up top where it's more secure, and then set it up so that there isn't a clear line of sight, or isn't a clear path, rather, for zombies to get to me as I am sleeping. But Guy here, he likes to take risks, so... Oh, perfect. Top of the hour. I slept real late. So it's a blackout. No water, obviously, as well. But with all this rain, I have plenty of water available to me. And Frost Lamb and Glitch, thank you for the bits. And cheers to both of you. In your current game, your goal is to collect $1,000. That's an interesting goal. I'm not sure who you'll trade with, but that's a fun challenge. And Finian, thank you for the sub as well. Alright, weather report so far says nothing about shoppers coming in, so I think I am safe. It actually oddly ended abruptly. I would have expected there to be more static at the end of the signal. Alright, off we go. So I have checked the box cars in the lot, but not the bull drivers. And I am headed to the old house so I can move out a little bit more. Come on, open. Gate, the heck? I have like PTSD from when the zombies jumped me from beyond the gate. I cannot wait to get rid of the wood. Do not like the wood gate. I'm quite surprised that the Corvette has survived this long. I mean, I have repaired it and all that. Allie K, thanks for the resub as well. You'll pay the zombies to leave you alone? I think they take credit, not cash. I kind of forgot to close the gate here. I don't really want zombies wandering around inside, so that's another thing that I could do, is to build a bit of a vehicle airlock so that I can leave the garage or driveway or whatever you want to call it open and still not have zombies come into the base. So that's something I do want to design later on down the line. I have had this car since the first stream. Basically, this vehicle I found with keys intact, like right outside the bar. And then this Dacia Lang, or whatever it's called, also I have the keys to. I just haven't filled it up. But this is the starting bar area. Guy's old stomping ground. Pun fully intended. They just want to subscribe. You mean the zombies, that is? Yeah, this series definitely... Oh, hi. That's a lot of zombies. Definitely started off crispy. I'm very happy the guy is well fed, because this is a lot of zombies that I'm absolutely going to have to fight. Petters, thank you for the resub, or gifting out a sub as well. Yeah, this is a cursed home. I do have a new theory about the cursed home, though. Which is that this home is on the border of, chunks. So in Zomboid, zombies respawn in chunks. And if it's on the border of chunks, like close to the border, I think what may be happening is I don't visit the chunk that it's next to or adjacent to. No, not this. You can't hit fallen zombies. So what ends up happening is the adjacent chunk gets respawns often, and then they migrate because I'm on the edge of a chunk. I haven't actually looked at the chunk map, but I think that's probably the most reasonable explanation as to why this house here has the most absurd zombie spawn rate I've ever seen. If it's not that, I have no idea what it is. Then it's just truly curse. It's like, oh, you found a sledgehammer early? Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with Swarm of Zomba. I thought there was 2 leather jackets. The heck? Because I don't think I've ever driven home. Oh, there it is. I don't think I've ever driven home and not had to kill some zombies. Like, it's never happened. Not once. I'm always being swarmed. It's rather hilarious. So now I'm just trying to pack up this home, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to open up the inbox so that you can suggest goals for me in just a second, when I can tab out and type up. Yeah, this trailer has been an absolute benefit. A pleasure to have, for sure. So I believe the whole upstairs is all done. Please don't have zombies down here waiting for me. So I need the antique stove. And, like, everything else, right? So everything in this pile, let's loot. And while I loot, let me pull you all. So, or open up the suggestion box. Actually, it's already open, oddly enough. Alright, fully move out of the cursed home and suggest goals. So the goal inbox is taking suggestions. A part of me feels like I should just knock down this, I don't have my sledgehammer with me, do I? I was gonna say knock down the wall that I have there, because it's... I could remove the barricades, I suppose, like the metal barricades, to make this a little bit faster. And less dangerous, because I don't really like jumping out of a window without true line of sight as to what's on the other side. Just a little dangerous. Mr. Betrayed, thanks for catching the stream. You and a few other people are first-time viewers on Twitch. It happens a few times every stream. It's really cool that people would jump platforms. Alright, I'll take all the loose stuff first, books, etc., and then I'll go for the antique stove. Not because it's the least important, but because it's super stupid heavy. You know, the barricade on this window seems to be missing. So I found a much faster way in and out. So that's everything in the shelves. Then the propane tank And I guess I'll loot all of the books and stuff. I'm definitely making at least one more trip. I'm not going to have the carry weight for all of this. Another thing I don't have is I don't have storage for this stuff yet back at the base. I need to get my metalworking up a little bit higher so that I can more adequately store books and crafting supplies and sort it all by type. Yeah, I broke into the barricades last stream. Good memory. I sometimes forget the finer details. So trailer is full. And out of convenience, I don't want to use the trunk. So away we go. Trying to drag the crowd that is close to the house away with some light honking. Of course, they could always migrate back. Hey, J-Dog. Thanks for the resub. Imagine having a role-playing server with no zombies and professions. You know, perhaps sometimes in the future, when they introduce NPCs, it will be a little bit like that. I mean, wait, just turning on like sandbox mode, removing the zombies and having NPCs only. I mean, I have no idea how they're going to introduce NPCs, but once they're introduced, I suspect it's going to open up an amazing amount of possibilities for how to play. Wow, this storm is really picking up. I'm not going to bother closing the gate right now because I'm just going to be driving right back out. I don't think... Well, maybe through mods there will be NPC-controlled zombies, but as far as I know, there are no plans for that. What I'm mostly talking about is just regular old zombies not controlled by players, controlled by the game, and then NPCs controlled by the game, sort of, with the player retaining some control over them. However that's set up, I have no idea. Well, I'm going to be making a massive, massive, massive mess before I clean up all of this. Because, like I said, I don't have storage for any of this. So, initially it's going to go all on the ground. And probably it's not even going to go into this trailer. So, the idea for this trailer was, and still is, that it will really only serve as my kitchen. One of the reasons, and I probably should mention this, is the reason that I wanted this to be my kitchen is there is... Oh, God, don't... whatever, it's outside. One of the main reasons to have this as the kitchen is because in Zomboid, for you to get plumbing, you have to have your sink in an enclosed area. And there's a bit of a bug where if you build your own area, it's like not possible to enclose it, which means you'll never have plumbing. Unless, of course, you have like a well or something, which there's only a few that exist in the game. So for that functional reason, my kitchen has to be here in the trailer, so it's actually functionally enclosed. But the rest of the base could be upstairs, where it's more secure, and that's probably the best place to put tools and the like. Alright, we're almost done with the first load. Probably going to top up on food. And water. Your alarm doesn't seem to ring? My alarm wasn't ringing for a long time, but it started ringing last stream. I don't really know what's going on with that. I haven't done my homework and, like, read all the patch notes, which I sometimes do. It is indeed a bug. Alright, I think one more load of stuff and we're good to move out. Glad to see that I'm still topping off the rain barrels. Yeah, man, it's been raining for days. I've had like 2 tropical storms since the start, which is kind of ridiculous. Because it's Kentucky, not really known for its coastal storms. The storms, because I live not too far from Kentucky, the storms in my region tend to be narrow bands of thunderstorms that roll through quickly and end quickly. You know, like 45 minutes of a rainstorm. Or just sort of a large rainstorm where it rains gently all day long, or moderately all day long, but not like crazy bad storms all day long. That's just not something that really happens here. Alright, I have room for maybe 1 or 2 more goals, if you guys want to suggest them. I haven't, they're not peer-reviewed yet, but I will review them, make sure they're all viable and non-duplicates. I also, if you're wondering, generally refund the points, even when you redeem. So, I know they cost channel points, but actually they kind of don't, because I just refunded instead. It's just a way for me to have you guys interact. Alright, let's see if my honking worked. It seemed to. You can see that they were drawn north and then dispersed. I feel like I'm playing reverse Frogger. Get out of the road! Like, my biggest pet peeve with GTA was that, okay, that's... I'll peer review that, but... My biggest pet peeve with GTA was, like, I wanted to drive around fast, but then you tickle anyone with your car, and the game freaks out, like, send the FBI! This guy hit a pedestrian! It's like, okay. Guess I'm dead. And this year continues the pattern of, no matter how much I feel like I've cleared the home around, there's always more zombies. Let's hope they're not inside. Because there's functionally nothing to stop them from coming inside. All that's really left is like a whole bunch of books and magazines. And then the antique stove. Alright, so question. I'm going to pause the game so I don't end up dead. What is the first big goal of the stream? And this is all you guys proposing it. So we've got break down cars to level mechanics. So that would be disassembling them, not metalwork, not breaking their frames, but removing the components. Because that's what levels up mechanics. Metalwork would be dismantling racks. Find a better day car. Every day. Or find a better car, just period. Because a Corvette makes no sense. Level up metalworking. So leveling up metalworking could be dismantling plumbing, dismantling ovens and washer dryers, or wrecked cars, things like that. Build 2nd story bedroom. Find fuel cans to stockpile gas. Add exterior fence lighting for security. So the interesting thing about that is I have to negotiate the range of the generator, I think. I don't know if that one is possible, but I'll try it if it gets voted on. Chemo, I'm gonna refund yours because I'd rather work on the base. And then base build. The individual project left up to me. Chemo's suggestion was to go find other gnomes. It's a cute goal, but got slightly better important things to do, I think. Plus, David is a loner gnome. He likes to be alone. No matter what, always more zombies. That there is the Omega zombie, by the way. It's got that fancy Omega or Ohm t-shirt. Okay, we're almost out. Really just a few more books, magazines, and the stove. I'm quite surprised no one was like, level up electricity so that you can have a stove. I mean, not saying that you have to propose it, but definitely surprised it was not proposed, considering my electrical is pretty close. And that would allow me to, like, cook, which is kind of nice. Just thinking out loud here. Maybe the next time it's proposed. Alright, I think that's everything. Unless I want the trash can, which I don't think I want. I like the little trash bin I have back home, and then if you need more, some big things can't fit in those trash cans, so if you want more than that, you need to, you obviously need to get like a whole dumpster. I even took the buckets. Okay, we're off. I do have zombies respawn is on, yes. But they follow normal vanilla rules, which is it only respawns in cells that you have not entered within the last 3 days or 72 hours. That would be the generic respawning rules. So any area that I've been in the last 3 days is not a viable area to respawn zombies. For the whole cell, and cells are rather large in Zomboid. Like a few city blocks large. I don't really want the double bed. You know, I don't need that much space. That mattress will do. Some rough living welcomed. What are those? Oh, they're trees. Can they respawn inside the lot? I mean, if I don't visit my home within 72 hours, yes, hypothetically. But, like, not likely to ever be enough of them for it to be a problem. You know, maybe like a few magically respawn inside. But if I separate my kitchen from my top floor, they wouldn't be able to get upstairs anyway. So it's something not worth worrying about, in other words. Now, in multiplayer, there is a concept called safe house. A safe house is a way for a player to claim a certain area as, like, safe. And that would actually prevent zombie respawning, but I'm not on a multiplayer server, so I don't have safe houses enabled or anything like that. Looks like base building is winning. Definitely looks like it's going to win. Could they theoretically respawn on the second floor of something you built? No, I don't think so. I don't believe they'll spawn anywhere that isn't a vanilla structure. So So if you built like a tower and there was no physical access to get up that tower, zombies can't spawn in that tower because it's not valid for them to have traveled there. The game does do those kind of calculations, I believe. I haven't seen evidence to the contrary, I'll put it that way. Come on, man. Grab. What's your deal, dude? Fine. Drop the bag. I could grab it on the way here, but I couldn't grab it on the way back. Because, like, magical weight. There was not skill decay, no. Unless you die. I guess, technically, that would be decay. Well, that hurt. I think I'm going to place the antique stove here for a minute. Because I can't survive another fall like that. Ow. Ouch. Big ouch. Okay, question. You guys want base building. What should the primary material of the base be? Wood. Metal. So wood... let me type out the advantages and disadvantages. Wood, plentiful, can plaster and paint, and quick. Metal, tougher, but harder to resource. So if I made it out of wood, it could be probably larger and eventually prettier because we can plaster and paint it whatever colors we want. If it's metal, well, we would live up to the fact that Guy's a metalworker. It just means that the actual structures are probably going to be a lot smaller because building large structures out of metal is unaffordable. We just aren't going to get the materials out of it. The other advantage of wood over metal for just this part of the base is that leaves the rest of the metal that we have for securities, for the gate, that kind of stuff. That's up to you. But dang, I really just totally busted myself up. All right, I'm going to put the buckets of water here for future farming. Also, that's something that someone could propose if you want when the inbox is back open. I'm refunding everybody and their ideas, so you spent nothing, as promised. And it stopped raining. Nice. Let's put the propane tank down. All right, so it looks like we're a hoarder here, living horribly. And that wouldn't necessarily be untrue. All right, give me some cans of corn. That's what we're going to do for dinner. I know, pretty sad, but it's part of the Jenny Craig weight loss program here. The water is shut off, yes. That was, that went a little while back. Can you metal reinforce the first floor with metal and do the second bigger with wood? Yes. Yes, I could. Now, the bottom floor doesn't really need to be reinforced because there's only one way in, which is the wooden gate. So if I reinforce the wooden gate, we could have multiple levels or layers of protection if you're really concerned. But my point is, the zombies can't get through the chain link fence of this compound, this area. Because this fence was here, it's a vanilla fence, I didn't build it. It was here, you know, on map generation or whatever you want to call it. Which means it's impervious to zombies. That's the way that the game works. So I don't really need to worry about them coming through that fence. It wouldn't be possible. The only way they'd come through that fence is if I broke the fence myself. Which I surprise, surprise, I'm not planning on doing. So the only point of entrance is that front gate there. So if I invest most of my metal into that front gate so that they can't get in very easily through the front gate, there's no real reason why I'd have to worry about them coming in to the trailer. What I could do for the trailer is remove the door and replace it with a steel wall instead, and then remove the windows and do the same. Or, alternatively, just barricade up the windows as well. That might even be better. I think four wooden barricades and a metal plate on a window is probably tougher than a wall alone. I haven't actually done the math, but I'm pretty sure it is. But in either case, yeah, I could definitely ruggedize this trailer a little bit more. But I think for security's sake, it would be best for everything other than the kitchen to be elevated. And that way I can sleep without having to worry about getting eaten in the morning. And it does look like wood will be the project. Which means I have to just make sure that I have my carpentry book read. And it already is. And the amount of like XP boost that Guy has for carpentry is kind of ridiculous. So he'll be leveling up carpentry really fast. So let's get inside. I'm also happy to be sleeping because Guy kind of hurt himself. I'm eager to remove the stairs there and replace it with just a sheetrope elevator, whatever sheetrope to climb, so I don't bust myself like that again. Now the other question I have is, where on earth is my sledgehammer? I don't really remember. I know that the local hardware store. Oh, here's it. The local hardware store has like 3 sledgehammers, which was a little absurd. But you obviously wouldn't want to lose that. Alright, so the healing came back. That was a very quick recovery from falling, holding antique stairs. And, Mr. Betrayed and DS5K, thank you for the sub. And the resub. So let me update the priority. The project was left up to me. So what I want to do first is build an upstairs bedroom. It's going to be very, very, very modest, even though it is made out of wood. And then before I even do that, I might secure the trailer a little bit better. I forget if I can't barricade sheet this. I think it blocks the door, right? Yeah, it's gonna block the door. So that's something I'm gonna want to remedy it in the future. That looks like your room? Do you live in a van down by the river? Because Guy kind of does. He lives in a trailer down by the lake of sand. What is that thing? Just graphics glitch? Yeah, I think it is. Alright, before I get lost in the amount of tree cutting, let's go ahead and make sure that there are no choppers for today. 9 AM. Chopper check. Can I shoot through the fence? Yep. You can also stab through the fence too. You can use screwdrivers, spears, things like that, pointies to stab through fences, which is a very good way to use a pre-made chain link fence. It makes it so that you can kill zombies very, very easily. Alright, come on. Is that it? You done? Yeah, the end of, if you haven't seen it, I shouldn't spoil it, but the end of the Ash series that I did a lot of shooting through fences. And I demonstrated how it could be used as a way to power level shooting. very functionally, I would like to think. So what I gotta do now is go grab my axe. That I perilously left up here. I'll put the crowbar away so I'm not encumbered. Come on. God, I hate this thing. Someday I'll be replacing it. Alright, so even though I'm just cutting down trees, like on the other side, because of how much they weigh, it makes sense to bring the trailer over. If I had like a step truck or something, this is what would this is what a step truck would be really good at. I could get a sheet rope for the corpses, but I'm just it's easier, or it's probably less time consuming, I should say, to just load the logs straight into the trailer and not bother bundling them. Because the time like the actual, literally the amount of seconds it takes me to bundle them for the carry weight reduction probably doesn't make up for the bundling. Which is why I don't bundle. I'd only bundle if I had to move these by hand. I haven't really secured the area either. This neighborhood is still a little unfamiliar to me. Haven't really explored it. I just moved in. So there's also a possibility of there being homes around me that I don't know about, or a lot more zombies that I haven't accounted for. Gotta be careful about that. Now, one thing I was trying to look up that I couldn't actually find the answer to is whether or not gravel would stop, like player-placed gravel would stop plant growth. Because one of the things I was considering is, like, do I have to create a wooden walkway for my cars, which looks a little absurd, or can I pick up a bunch of gravel and move the gravel? Because if you look here, this is gravel, I believe, and this is sand. Sand is obviously growing the plants, gravel isn't. So I think if I find a nice big patch of gravel out there, I can move the gravel to my lot and stop plants from poking up, so I can have somewhat of a driveway or something. But I need to make sure that that's the case. Yeah, just doing some light logging with my Corvette, that's all, exactly. So first thing I want to do is I want to create a safe way for me to get up to the second level of my base and then back down. Which means sheet ropes. And I'm going to want a lot of redundancy. Much the way that they were pulling sheet ropes down on my starter home, I don't suspect that I'm going to have a lot of zombies breach my base. But if I do, having multiple sheet ropes so I don't have to craft another stairwell would go a long way. So 11. And a bunch of sheet ropes in one spot doesn't help that much. What's way more functional is if you have them spread out around. So the larger the footprint you have, the better. Whoops. The Yoda streamer cam was paused. My bad. Do Village and Fabby, thank you for the resubs. 29, that is a lot of months around. I've been enjoying some of the music you've been putting out. I find it, not all of it, but most of it, relaxing. Because a lot of it is lyricless or words I have no idea what they mean. Because unlike you, I'm not a poly... what is it? not polymath. My brain is a little slow today. So what I'm looking to do here... Polyglot, thank you. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to use this space. So one of the things I could do is... I know how I want to build. I got it now. Polyglot. Yeah, polymath is something a little different. Yeah, your Japanese is rather limited. Still impressive, nonetheless. It's better than my Japanese, which, despite the fact that I am part Japanese, I know not a lick. I know domo arigato. And a few other phrases, but that's about it. That's the extent. Are puppies on a diet? I just didn't have treats today. Sorry, dude. I'll pet him though. I've recently been feeding him just almonds, and I found that he hasn't been chewing them. So I stopped with that because that's not good for his digestive tract to just swallow almonds whole. What a weirdo. Such a weirdo. Please tell me I actually pronounce it that way. No. Domo. The only problem with blueberries as a snack choice is it gets all over my hands, which is very, very annoying. It's like yeah. I'm not gonna continue that sentence. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting myself up with just like a loft over the trailer. And then leaving space for additional rain barrels on the other side as well for washer-dryer hookups. Mostly for washer, obviously dryers don't require rain barrels. And then what I want to do is I want to have it come out as a balcony here so that I can have like a fire pit and things like that. Make it really homey. I'm not going to worry so much about being close to the edge of this, close to the edge of the area here. I don't really care if I'm that close. And the other thing I'm going to do is eventually punch out a hole somewhere in this room to have a sheet rope between the floor that I'm on and the floor below, so that it's going to be zombie proof, but then, you know, I don't have to go outside to go to the kitchen. That way, if there's a chopper event, I can eat and not starve for the day, which I think is probably important. Oh, and cheers, Icarus. You make me drink a lot of coffee, Icarus. A lot of coffee. But because I kind of like the concept of cozy homes, or small homes, compact homes, whatever you want to call it. So I really like the challenge of building like a really small footprint house, and then having the storage that you need to feel comfortable. Am I putting the generators inside? No, they will move. I'm just not ready to remove them yet, because obviously this isn't enclosed, so I'm not going to suffocate. In fact, because it's player built, I might not even have the option of making it enclosed. Like, that might not even be a thing that can happen. Yeah, teeny house. Out of a construction trailer. I wish there was some way to make the sheet ropes look a little bit more aesthetic, but I think you can somewhat get the idea here. The only problem I'm going to have is I'm hungry and I'm exerted, and I don't really want to go outside exerted because that makes me considerably vulnerable, so I'm going to take a lunch break like any good workman would. I've been burning through my non-perishables, but you know what? I don't care. I'll have farming up soon enough, probably, depending on if you propose and vote for it, so I don't need to worry about that. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid, Guy on Fire, which originally streamed live on Twitch, April 19th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. If you would like to join me in a live stream, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams, and you can also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rhadamant5186. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to all of my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel when you like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell,